The largest wealth migration in modern history has begun, a shift of tens of trillions of dollars happening before 2030. Your parents' financial roadmap is obsolete, and clinging to it is a losing strategy. While most people following the old rules face a bleak retirement, a new class of wealthy is emerging from AI, crypto, and hard assets. Forget the old checklist. Here are the realistic paths to wealth in 2026. You can stack one, three, or all of them. But don't sit on the sidelines and miss your shot. The reality is, your last raise didn't even cover inflation. You're working harder just to fall behind. Meanwhile, AI is outperforming the market by processing data faster than any human. The economic game has changed, but nobody sent you the new rulebook. The traditional paths to wealth now lead to mediocrity. It's simple. Learn the new plays or you'll be funding someone else's retirement. 1. Reboot the engine. AI-driven indexing. The robo-advisor market is exploding, projected to grow from $7.79 billion in 2024 to over $13 billion in 2026, and on its way to over $100 billion by 2034. Younger generations intuitively trust tech over a human in a suit charging high fees. The trick isn't picking the shiniest brand, it's layering them strategically. Open 2 accounts, one conservative, low-fee basket with a major firm like Vanguard or Schwab. This is your bedrock. Then, open a second, self-adjusting direct indexing portfolio that actively harvests tax losses weekly. This is where the real alpha is. You get broad market returns from the first account, while the second systematically turns market dips into tax deductions, boosting your after-tax returns by 1 to 2% annually. The IRS hasn't caught up to this kind of algorithm-driven tax loss harvesting, especially with crypto not yet subject to the wash sale rule, though that window is narrowing. This combination has beaten the standard 60-40 portfolio by almost 9% annually since 2022. Let the bots fight over basis points while you sleep. Your automated system is quietly optimizing, selling high, buying low, and generating tax savings without you lifting a finger. 2. Crypto ETFs. Without the roller coaster wallet drama, the Wild West days of crypto, praying a sketchy exchange didn't steal your stack, are mostly over. The game changed when spot Bitcoin ETFs saw massive inflows, signaling that serious money was ready to jump in through regulated vehicles. Now, Ethereum versions that hit the market in July 2024 have also pulled in billions, sparking a fee war that crushed costs below 20 basis points. You can get exposure to the explosive upside without the self-custody headaches. Here's the play. Treat them like a tech satellite position. Maybe 8% of your total portfolio max. This is about intelligent exposure, not blind faith. Buy the ETF in a Roth IRA so the eventual gains compound entirely tax-free. Then, ignore the daily volatility and social media noise. You get the upside and skip the drama, participating in a massive technological shift like a grown-up, not a gambler. 3. Private credit. Be the bank, collect the spread. Here's a secret. Banks are terrified of commercial loans right now. Post-2008 regulations made them risk-averse, so they offloaded that risk to private credit funds, which charge floating rates plus a fat 4 to 7% spread. This isn't a niche corner anymore. Private credit is a $1.7 trillion asset class expected to nearly double by 2028. It's growing because it works. You can access these same cash flow notes through interval funds with minimums as low as $1,000 and 30-day liquidity windows. The average yield recently hit over 10%, smoking most REITs without the tenant headaches. Allocate a smart 15% of your portfolio here. Reinvest the payments, and you could double that slice of your portfolio in about 6.5 years. For even higher yields, lock your money up for 3 years in a private credit ETF buying middle market loans. The default rate on these is under 1%, because they're backed by real equipment and cash flow from established businesses. You're literally becoming the bank. 4. Data centers own the picks and shovels of the AI boom. AI is the new gold rush, but it's useless without the physical infrastructure, massive server racks housed in highly specialized facilities. These are the engine rooms of the future. Demand is insane. Rents for Tier 1 server space jumped significantly last year, and global vacancy is below 3%. In critical markets like Northern Virginia, vacancy is ridiculously low, sometimes under 1%. Construction is often heavily pre-leased before ground is even broken. You can't buy a facility, but you can buy the REITs that specialize in them. The two major players are trading at discounts because the market hasn't fully priced in that these companies are the picks and shovels of the AI revolution. Their contracts with tech giants include annual rent bumps plus kickers for extra power usage. It's the easiest way to turn the AI arms race into passive income without learning a line of code. 5. The creator equity play. Turn content into an asset. Creator economy is no longer a side hustle. It's a global market projected to hit $480 billion by 2027, and private equity firms are taking notice. The real wealth is built when you treat your audience not as eyeballs, but as a private deal flow pipeline. Here's the blueprint. Film a niche skill. 3D printing, contract law, anything specific. Your goal isn't to go viral, it's to build 10,000 true fans. Once you have them, sell a micro course for $200. With a modest production cost, you could net mid-six figures on launch alone. Then, roll that profit into the next product. Repeat this 3 times. Creators who reinvest and build a library of evergreen content are clearing 7-figure exits when PE firms come knocking. These firms acquire content libraries at 4 to 6 times annual earnings because they see predictable cash flow. You don't need to be a celebrity. You just need to be specific, provide value, and own your email list. 6. Ventures Backdoor. Equity Crowdfunding 2.0. Venture capital is no longer a closed club. Regulation CF caps recently rose to $5 million, meaning startups are now courting retail investors directly. This isn't a penny stock scam. It's democratized early-stage investing. The data is compelling. A diversified basket of 20 Reg CF deals has produced a 3.2 times return over 6 years, beating many brand-name VC funds. Here's how to play it. Set aside a small percentage of your net worth, say 5%, that you can afford to risk. Pick companies in verticals you actually understand. If you're a plumber, look for plumbing tech. And always demand pro rata rights, allowing you to double down on your winners in the next round so you don't get diluted. The platforms provide due diligence documents, but common red flags are a messy cap table or a founder who can't explain their customer acquisition cost in one sentence. It's a lottery ticket with homework, but the potential returns are life-changing. 7. Human capital arbitrage. Sell the skill nobody indexed yet. AI can code and write articles, but it can't convince a stubborn HOA to approve a solar roof. That requires a human with local knowledge and negotiation skills. This is the sweet spot. Local, high-ticket services that blend permits, relationships, and problem-solving. A perfect example is retrofitting houses with heat pumps. The Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, and state programs offer huge incentives, like federal rebates up to $8,000 for qualified households and a 30% tax credit up to $2,000 for everyone. The homeowner still pays around $15,000, and the contractor margin is a juicy 40%. You don't need to be the installer. You become the rainmaker. You understand the local incentive spreadsheets, educate homeowners, book appointments, and sell those qualified leads to licensed crews for a slice of the margin. Close, just 3 deals a week, and you'll net 6 figures by summer with almost no capital at risk. Your moat is specialized, hyper-local knowledge that AI can't touch. All right, we've just covered 7 ways the new rich are getting richer, but theory is useless without execution. Before we dive into the final 3 strategies, I want you to pause and ask yourself, which of these have I dismissed without fully understanding? The biggest barrier to wealth isn't a lack of opportunity, it's a closed mind. If you're serious about this, drop a comment below with the one strategy that surprised you the most. Now, let's get back to it. 8. Tax location. Keep more than you make. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. A high income taxed at 48% doesn't build wealth. A moderate income compounding in a tax-exempt wrapper does. Strategically sequence your investment vehicles. Use a Roth IRA for hyper-growth plays like crypto ETFs, so all gains are tax-free in retirement. Use a traditional IRA for income-focused investments like private credit to defer taxes. For your charitable giving, a donor-advised fund gives you an immediate tax deduction while the money grows tax-free. Beyond that, Actively harvest long-term losses in your taxable brokerage. Sell a losing investment, realize the loss, and use it to offset capital gains or up to $3,000 of ordinary income. Immediately swap into a similar but not identical asset to avoid the wash sale rule. Done right, you can legally shelter the first $40,000 of capital gains every year. That's a free card just for doing your paperwork correctly. 9. Cash is still a position, just not the one you think. Everyone hates cash during inflation. Money market funds are paying a decent percentage today, but that won't last. Instead of timing the Fed, let our short-duration treasuries 3 months out and roll them as they mature. You'll get a slightly better yield, stay liquid, and, critically, have dry powder when the market inevitably dumps. Think of cash as a call option on chaos. It pays you a decent yield while you wait. When everyone else is panicking and forced to sell, you're the one stepping in, calmly picking up high-quality assets at bargain prices. This is how you leverage market volatility instead of being a victim of it. 10. Build your board. Community over contacts. Forget stuffy networking events. Group chats are the new country club. The real opportunities are happening in private online communities. Your mission: join 2 paid Slacks or Discords in your niche. Whether it's AI, real estate, or e-commerce, find where the serious players are. Then, contribute data, not emojis. Offer genuine insights, share resources, and demonstrate your expertise. Within a quarter, you'll see deal flow months before it hits the mainstream. For example, a pre-seed allocation in a recent successful project originated from a Discord channel simply by answering another member's accounting question. That initial contribution led to an offer for a spot in an oversubscribed round. Pay-to-play communities filter noise better than any Ivy League alumni list. They are meritocracies of contribution, and the rewards are immense. There you have it. 10 wealth plays that work right now while the legacy finance industry is still mailing paper statements. The next 4 years will be a brutal separator between people who own cash-flowing assets and people who own nothing but excuses. The market is going to get wilder, but one thing is certain: doing nothing is the riskiest move on the board. If this video sparked a single idea, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm show this to the next person who's still Googling how to save $5 on lattes when they should be learning how to earn $5,000. Drop your questions below. Subscribe for the monthly portfolio teardown. And let's make sure you're on the right side of that massive wealth transfer when the music stops.